Now we're going to navigate to the mobile version of the website of the Shopify store. And we want to take a look to make sure there's no navigation issues, formatting problems. Now, because we used the default theme and did very little edits to it, as well as didn't add a lot of apps, there's going to be very few places where we will have problems. First of all, we could probably do this a little easier with responsive extension, and then I'll bring this back, and there we go. This is the same product, and what we're just going to do right now is we're going to look at this. We're in Samsung's browser. Okay, and we're going to just compare it to what comes up here in responsive viewer. As we scroll down, you can see everything's formatted fairly closely. There's not too much difference. Like we always check for strike throughs, these little features. These are things that can always go wrong. You can see the difference here. We got a buy it now button here. You got to buy with GPay. You have more payment options. Slightly different browser. Each browser will be slightly different. And we scroll down. We're just looking for anything that's major. So there shouldn't be much between browser to browser, right? So between this view and the view that we have on our mobile phone, there won't be much difference. Now we're going to switch. We'll actually just do one more check here. We'll switch to the Chrome version. You can see how this is more similar, right? So you're basically looking at Chrome side by side, and where over here we're looking at a different browser. So now we're going to navigate. We're going to pin this and check it inside of Pinterest. Okay, so just showing you side by side here how you can see the differences here. We're going to go ahead and pin this. So we're going to use just from mobile here. And what we're saving this now to is a test account on here. It's not going into the Pinterest business account for this Shopify store. The first thing you'll notice here is that even though we clicked on that social share bar, it's allowing us to pick only one. So we're going to make up a new board, create a board, and I'll call this one Test 10. We save this image from our Shopify store into, okay, Samsung Internet browser isn't deep linking directly to the Pinterest app. Normally that's what it would do. It is giving you the option to open it here. So we are going to open it. It's going to switch us now to Pinterest. So it's opened it up into the Pinterest application. And you can see this is the pin we saved. And we click on this pin. We're now in a new browser. So the problem with the Pinterest browser, it doesn't let you escape. There's no way out of this browser. The only way out is to close it. And now as we scroll down, you can see, we'll just compare, just go back up here, and you can see it's very similar to the Chrome version here. As we're scrolling down, everything looks good. Normally, there's always going to be little issues that are a problem. Okay, so the main difference here is that you're unable to leave from this browser once you're in here. If we switch to the other browser, we're going to go to Chrome now, and we're going to do the same thing, is we're going to save, and we'll pick a different image. We'll pick this one here. We'll put it in the same board. Put it in test 10. So we didn't get a pop-up that showed us the pin. So we're going to go navigate over to Pinterest. We should see our second pin in here now. So now when we click on this pin, if you follow what happened last time, depending on your browser, the browser may or may not be connected deeply with the in-app browser of Pinterest. And in this case here, we have the same product. Everything looks the same. The Pinterest app has gotten much better. A lot of features have started working. And the last thing we'll do here is we'll test our save button inside of Pinterest. So just make sure we are in the Pinterest one. And we click save. You're going to see something different here. You're able to pick your images like this. If you notice in the other mobile browsers, you weren't able to. Okay, and you could actually select all, and you get all 44 pins, and we could put all 44 pins at once inside of that board. Here, we'll just go back to test 10 here, and now you can see there's 44 new pins. There was none in here before. Now all these are new pins in here. It has the rich pin features of the title. Everything's good. So we can confidently say that we've tested this as mobile using the responsive Chrome extension, as well as using the in-phone PC app. So we'll go back now to our Shopify store, and we can see now, remember, when we put those test boards, those were in a different account. So that's why you don't see them here. Just clarify that. So this is the brand account. And the reason we have test accounts, and I recommend that to other people also, is for your analytics. In your analytics, if you start pinning other people's pins, which was used to be really common with repins, and now they say save other people's pins to your boards, it messes up your analytics, pure and simple. There's no advantage. Putting other people's pins in your business account is like commingling your personal funds with your business bank account. the numbers will look great in here sometimes, but they'll be meaningless. And the same thing with your bank account. So what the idea is, if you want the analytics from your competitors, or if you're doing other kinds of research, it's very easy to set another account up. You just click on your icon, and it'll ask you to add another account. And because you're using Gmail, it's actually quite easy. Just put a dot in a different spot in your Gmail account name, and you have what's considered a unique Gmail account for Pinterest. All right, so and then you can still make it a business account. You just don't have to claim a website to it. And it's a really good idea, especially if you're doing any kind of intelligence or competitor analysis. But don't mix it with this account. Okay, that's a caveat. You'll find people recommend doing this. It makes your boards look better. They say the latest updates with Pinterest, there is no advantage. Finally, the one thing we didn't do is add the UTM tracking codes, which we do that always right from the beginning. But we wanted to make this a simple, straightforward integration because we don't have Google Analytics set up on this account yet, mostly just to show the integration between Shopify and Pinterest. But eventually what you want to do is make sure, it's called a UTM link. It's a tag that you add, and there's all kinds of UTM builders. Google has their own in-house one. There's all kinds of third-party ones. This is that phrase. You'll see it often on the end of pins. You'll see it on other URLs. And basically, it's a way to code your URL. This is where you can start to determine which pin is doing better than the other. You can do A/B testing. There's a variety of stuff you can do for tracking. We want to wrap up this session with the integration. Okay. And here's just an example. You can see if we click on this URL right now, it's going to open it up here, and you're going to see a UTM code. And again, we show you how to build these, add them in, automate them, just so you see what they're doing. It's a social, the medium is, the source is Pinterest, and the campaign is Calibrate. And that makes sense because they're on this Calibrate landing page here. These guys do a very good job with their Pinterest. And again, we talk about having landing pages and collection pages. This is a really good example of a page that's optimized. As you can see, even just the images, they're optimized for Pinterest, and they go ahead and they pin a lot of those pages directly, and other ones they just crop. That wraps it up for us, and hopefully you've gotten something out of these sessions. The idea is to make them step-by-step tutorials. If there's something that's missed, please let me know. Please watch for all our other videos. Bye for now.